This has been my experience and my observation.
Esta es la historia de Suruai.
I began my day beneath the Black Christ in the central cathedral. The Black Christ.
Where do we begin?
33 years old, like me. I-N-T. I lit 3 candles. H. 3. Beloved. E. Departed. B. And I walked out into the morning sunlight, where the great square was empty, and the sun, T, not yet risen over the Palacio Nacional, set shadows and angles down the avenues. The flagpole was deserted, but in a moment, the army rushed from the palace and abbey roaded, one by one by one, the sacred
The
banner.
past religions have been prose. The future religion is going to be that of poetry.
There was bugles, and it was just the most glorious, unexpected thing to have happen to a person who was after I just had been inside the cathedral in a
For all he faced, Christ was never faced with the task of forgiving himself. He was the perfect man. He was perfect man. But for those who suffer justly and constantly and dirtily within, and for those who in the act and idea of self-forgiveness are not a manifestation of grace, but a cankerous delusion, an arbitrary, ludicrous, facile psychosis that far outstepped the jurisdiction of the human spirit. For such individuals, the rope ladder that Christ, the Redeemer, left dangling from his cross was so useless it was dangerous. It should not be climbed.
and walked out of the cathedral determined to live one day sincerely. And
That's why I say
decided
Zen is
the most
going to be
sincere
the
thing I
religion
could
of the
do
future.
at that moment, something that
Because the religion of future will be
I
aesthetical.
learned from the great knight himself.
It will not be ethical. The religions of the past were ethical, moralistic, Puritan. The religion of the future will be aesthetical. Beauty will be its value. And all else will arise out of the feeling for beauty.
I decided I wanted to find the home of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. In the back of a novel I had was written that he resided in Mexico City. So I got in the subway, and I went up to the university, and I went to the professor. Here I am with my little manuscript, my little manifesto that I was carrying with the intention of arriving at Garcia Marquez's house, knocking on his door, presenting him with this great manifesto and having him kiss it. Now, before that, I met the most beautiful woman on the bus. She led me in the right direction. She introduced me, and I was going to get a picture of Dante, whom I was not aware was living in Mexico City at the time. And I knew if I could get a picture of him kissing it, I could definitely get my manifesto published. But if I could not get a picture of Gabriel Garcia Marquez kissing my own masterpiece, then I was gonna have to write it a lot better. Dante was my guide all of a sudden. And Dante passed me to the literature section, and they wrote some numbers in my book. And they sent the professors of literature huddled around, and they all wrote numbers in my book, and then they sent me off. And I went downstairs, and now in a new direction. I'd had an address, so I was all keen to find this address, and they gave me some directions, and I had no idea really where I was going. I wandered around asking people where these places were, and kept pointing at me. I thought I was nuts. These guys trying to, what do you want? I'm trying to find Gabriel Garcia Marquez. What? The writer? Yes, but it was all Spanish and I had no idea what I was saying. And I got in the car with this couple in the back seat and they drove me around the city. They told me they were going to take me to his house.
For the eye of my I am, my pseudo I.
They drove me around Mexico City for 2 hours. For 2 hours, drove around Mexico City, got lost. I saw the swimming pool where the Olympics were. Took a few pictures out the window. And they took me to this apartment and I went in and this is like the house of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. So I go in there, it's kind of a high rise, there's a security guard in the layer lobby and the lady went up and was translating and talking. They had a long conversation, too much, I couldn't understand it, but I was told to sit down. The lady gave me a big hug and we said goodbye and they left. This couple left me there, sitting in the lobby next to the security guard and I waited and waited and waited. I couldn't believe this was happening.
And the chandelier is made of
Suddenly this young kid comes down the stairs, my age, gringo like me, he's an American. I told him I was here to meet Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And he looked at me like I was bananas. We started talking. He's the editor of the English language newspaper. For some reason, I conveyed to them or something that I don't know, but they took me to the English language newspaper. To this day, I don't know why. I'd asked him if I could go up and check out his office. He told me no. He told me to go. It's a nice history. It's an old city right in the center. So I went there after.
in La Glorieta Insurgentes, the Transcendentals
for 2 hours. For 2 hours. At that point that I was not going to find Gabriel Garcia Marquez at all today. That Gabriel Garcia Marquez, at least in relation to me, has found himself and an absentia.
A sequence of frivolity, random blotches of Tuaso, Machia, fucked Polaroids go. This is a word I cannot pronounce.
Yeah, I walked through old Mexico City, this old, beautiful section.
This variety theater horror show.
Up to this thoroughfare, and suddenly I saw the house of Casa Leo Trotsky. Trotsky had been a nickname of myself and my brother. My dad loved Trotsky. I didn't know the first thing really about him, but his house was there. Suddenly I thought,
I was walking fast.
wow, okay, well,
somewhere to go.
maybe I'm not going to find Marquez, but I found Trotsky. I found the house. I was introduced to the fantastic human being of Trotsky in an incredible way. Walked through his home, which was preserved, saw his bathrobe even. Bullet holes in the wall where they'd tried to get him in the night. And of course they eventually got him and... Trotsky.
And so to sublate the pattern, I debuild, I recognify, I clean my pipe with a paper clip. I get distincto, here in the Chinese gardens, paper clips everywhere, like a body stone, fucked up, distincto.
Around the corner was this other beautiful old cobblestone street, and I went up it and I stumbled into this old garden. But I found a place called Espacio Poetico. Here I was, the supposed poet out in search of poetry, and I was taught a lesson. I'd gone out to trick Garcia Marquez into signing a manuscript, and instead, the powers of the poem showed me a little something, taught me a little lesson about poetry. They showed me a man named Trotsky, where he was lying, where he was killed.
In the smog and effectuoso towards Sunlock, John Lennon is giving the Che directions at a payphone in Mandarin about spectacle, big, huge tits and fancy.
I discovered a beautiful quote called Trotsky's Testament, which I can read every time I read it now. It brings joy into my heart. And I saw the room where this man was killed and the mausoleum where his ashes are, and now...
I was doing cartwheels because I had nowhere to go and nothing to do.
Truth be told,
and no one to meet. I eat meat.
also left some ashes there of my own beloved departed beneath a eucalyptus tree. I've swallowed the poem, and the poem has swallowed me. Mexico, 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 not Mexico City. Mexico itself is the poem. I've swallowed the poem, and the poem has swallowed me. The great souls deserve to die. It is a dream, but I am not a great soul. I do not deserve to die in Mexico. I'm not the man. I'm not a Trotsky. I'm not a Rojo. I'm not a Consul. I'm not a Lowry. I'm not a you, good sir. I'm not a you. There's been a lot of pretending and archetyping and disconnecting, and now I just need to vanish for a while. Into the soft solace of the evening. I've swallowed the poem, and the poem has swallowed me.